Hi, this is Vaishnavi from Adgully, and we have Shreyas here with us. So, how are you, Shreyas?
Doing very well, Vaishnavi. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so Shreyas, tell me about what are the interesting campaign that Plum has introduced in the past?
Got it. So, Vaishnavi, for the benefit of your viewers, Plum is the fastest growing B2B insurance and healthcare company in the country. We serve 4,000 plus companies now, serving over 5 lakh lives through them. We've been on this journey for a little over 5 years, and being a quintessential challenger in this space in insurance and healthcare, we've had to take some unconventional routes every now and then to make sure our brand is better known, well known, well regarded, appreciated, and so on. So we've taken some creative bets in the past, whether it was on social media. We started with social campaigns in the early days, but after we saw some early healthy traction, we went down that path. Last year, we launched a card game, which is fairly unconventional for a company in our space. Then we launched insurance through ASMR. Earlier this year, we did starter guides to various cities in the country. We launched our first book, and today I'm super excited to share the launch of our second book, Aesop's Fables. Sorry, I don't know if that's visible. Um, it's children's stories inspired by the modern workplace, and we're super proud of putting together something like this, and we think it'll our customers and people in the ecosystem are really going to appreciate the effort that's gone into it.
What is the Aesop's fable and how Plum came up with this idea?
Got it. First things first, we've always deeply cared about making insurance, healthcare, and workplace wellness more simple, inclusive, accessible. That's a very core part of our mission and how we perceive this and how we approach marketing at Plum specifically. So, in the same spirit, whether it was through a card game or whether it was through ASMR, we thought, hey, how can we make, how can we live up to the same mission? Second, very interestingly, we saw that people success and business leaders and founders, uh, professionals who are in positions of responsibility, especially parents, find the little bit of time that they get with their kids to be absolutely sacred. And as rituals, many of them read to them before bed. So we figured why not we make that space a little bit more interesting, more meaningful. Of course, fables that currently exist in the market are borrowed from a previous generation. So we took this opportunity to make them more relatable, more progressive in nature. And I mean, and marketing should be fun. We are having fun along the way, so why not?
Yeah. So, what insights can Plum share about its unique approach to engage B2B audience in fresh and innovative ways?
Got it. We operate in a fairly competitive space, which means an average customer or an average prospect to us is bombarded with hundreds of emails and thousands of ads on an every single day. And we care deeply about how we are perceived differently, how we earn that top of mind recall, top of mind awareness in a more sustainable manner. So obviously, all of us, all the companies in the space, you can do ads a little better. You can spend a little bit more money on your direct marketing campaigns. You can always do more, more serious account-based marketing and enterprise marketing. But to the buyer, if you put yourself in the shoes of a traditional customer, you would see that they're kind of bombarded, and a lot of this is just rehashing of the same thing. So we've always wanted to take creative approaches to speaking to them about topics that are more meaningful, topics that might be of intrigue and interest to them. So our creative bets today have not just catalyzed our growth marketing efforts, our revenue marketing efforts. They have also gone deep in becoming their own channels, becoming their own assets. When some very successful campaigns for us today, I would I would wager that some of our more creative bets have perhaps paid off more and better than the typical traditional marketing playbooks that we are all used to.
On that, how does Plum creatively introduce modern workplace value through a fun and accessible medium that appeals to both parents and children?
Got it. So we speak to businesses and their employees. We speak to businesses sometimes through their employees. We've always wanted to make, uh, like I said, workplace wellness and insurance and healthcare simpler and more accessible. We did it. We've done it through creative campaigns, and when we observe culture, we see that the workplace has a very big bearing on it. It's literally a third of your third of your adult life you spend
Absolutely.
at the workplace. So the impact of a workplace or your office on your personal beliefs sometimes or culture in society is often underrepresented, undervalued, underobserved. So we thought, why not take this opportunity to actually recognize the impact of the workplace, the influence of the workplace on individual beliefs and perceptions of culture. So inclusivity, diversity, mental health are topics that workplaces increasingly champion now, and it's a very encouraging trend that we've observed. And to make that a dinner table conversation for families, to make that a bedtime discussion for parents and children is a brilliant opportunity that we're very grateful for.
Why it is important for B2B brands to adopt unconventional marketing strategies to stand out in today's competitive market?
I'll go back to my previous answer. Vaishnavi. We can all spend a little bit more money, a little less money. We can all have a slightly fancier website and a slightly more optimized funnel or a form. End of the day, first principles marketing will always be about uh, grabbing attention and building that degree of recall in a customer's or prospect's mind. And oftentimes these creative projects help us earn not just the awareness of a prospect, but also the appreciation and fondness that otherwise good marketing cannot help us achieve. So in a super commodified competitive space, uh, a book that sits on the shelf of a decision maker, a book that's becoming a part of their bedtime routine, uh, a poster that hangs on their wall in a very delightful manner, uh, uh, a Christmas carol sometimes. Uh,
Yeah.
all these are ways that build a certain degree of fondness in the buyer's mind about Plum. And I think we're very proud to have done some of these activities, and we'll forever keep doing this for as long as we are in the space. I think we are never going to shy away from taking these creative bets because just investing in growth is not a sustainable way to drive revenues or growth for the company. Uh, these creative bets have to become a part of any B2B marketing strategy going forward.
Yeah. So how do Plum campaigns break the traditional mold of B2B marketing and offer something new to the audience?
In effect, the same way, right? Like we all run ads, search ads, and paid social ads, and some social media campaigns here and there. And these assets, whether they are more business related or less business related, that's a varying element. They're all still going away from the tradition of what insurance and healthcare has meant to individuals, to companies. These creative campaigns actually help us save costs in the long term. We don't have to spend purely on advertising because there is a certain degree of affinity built towards the brand. Just as a typical example, you're not going to go and search for sports shoes and end up on a Nike website.
Yeah.
You're not going to click on an ad for a Mercedes car, even if you're in the market. So that's a certain degree of brand awareness and fondness that helps companies optimize and lower their spends on pure play ads over a long period of time. And I think these assets and these creative campaigns have set precedents for us at least. And I hope more companies are able to experiment and figure this out as they go.
Yeah. So how effective have Plum's creative campaigns been in the changing the being in changing the perception of B2B marketing?
Well, very, very effective. Like I said, how many times is a marketing page or even a salesperson going to talk just about insurance? It can get very boring very quickly uh,
Yeah.
in the buyer's mind. If our salesperson goes into a meeting with a prospect, and all they have to talk about is, hey, here's some wins that we've had, some social proof, some credibility show, and come back. It's you're just another player in the space. But instead, if they're able to leave a nice leave behind, which is a children's book, uh,
Hmm.
impact can be significantly higher. And even when we meet a lot of our prospects in marketing settings at events, some of the things they remember about Plum is not the ad that they saw or a report that we published, right?
Yeah.
Those go a long way in building, awareness through the pipeline, or building action through pipeline. But they mostly remember us for the starter guides. They mostly remember us for our book, Humanize, published earlier this year. Many of them have played a wonderful game of Cards Against Work at an offsite. That's what they really associate with Plum. The connotation is almost always with workplace, with wellness, with healthcare, with about making the workplace a lot more joyous, especially for companies which are investing in the best of talent. For them, engaging with their employees in meaningful ways is sacrosanct. And it's this that we'll always be remembered for, in addition to the actual service and product offering that we have. But nobody remembers just an ad,
Hmm.
at least not on Google or LinkedIn.
Yeah.
They're mostly there to drive action. But what they really remember us is for these creative bets that.
Yeah. So, what impact have these campaign had on audience engagement and Plum's overall brand identity?
Well, we are, I think, safe to say we are the fastest growing, probably amongst the biggest B2B insurtech and healthcare brands today in the country. While being only 5 years old in the business, it wouldn't happen if we were to just play the same playbook, or borrow from the same playbook as every other B2B company in the country. This spirit of experimentation is what's really driven success for us. Um, Otherwise, we would be just another name in that market.
Yeah.
I think in the minds of an HR person today, which is typically a buyer or a people success professional, uh,
Hmm.
Plum's value is above and beyond just being an insurance broker or a healthcare provider. It's a brand that I hope they'd love to be associated with as they grow in their own respective careers and as their companies grow. And I think that is something that we can't be grateful enough for.